October 4th, 1974, 2:17 a.m., Memphis Police Department, District 9. Officer Daniel Crawford sits at his desk. Paperwork. Coffee gone cold. Another quiet night shift. The phone rings. He picks up. Memphis Police. Officer Crawford speaking. The voice on the other end is unmistakable, even through exhaustion, even through static. Elvis Presley. Officer Crawford's hand tightens on the receiver. His mind races. Prank call? Emergency? Something else? Elvis speaks slowly, almost apologetically. Officer, I need your help with something. It's not what you think. What happens in the next 18 minutes isn't about fame. It's about one man's desperate attempt to fix something broken. Something most people never knew was shattered. Here is the story. Memphis, Tennessee. Early October 1974. Elvis Presley is 39 years old. He lives at Graceland, the mansion everyone knows. But fewer people know what happens inside after midnight. The insomnia, the loneliness, the phone calls. Elvis makes dozens of calls every night, to friends, to staff, to strangers, anyone who might talk, anyone who might listen. Officer Daniel Crawford doesn't know this yet. He's 28 years old, 6 years on the Memphis police force, married, 2 kids, works night shift because it pays better. He's handled domestic disputes, traffic stops, bar fights, never a call from Elvis Presley. Elvis's voice is tired. Officer, I know this is unusual. I know you're busy, but I need to ask you something. Crawford clears his throat. Mr. Presley, are you in danger? Do you need emergency assistance? Elvis laughs. Not the big laugh from the movies, a small, sad sound. No danger. Not that kind anyway. I need you to do something for me. Something the police can do that I can't. Crawford leans forward, pen in hand, ready to write. What is it, sir? Elvis pauses. 5 seconds of silence. 10. Then. There's a woman named Dorothy Mae Henderson. She lives at 847 Alabama Street. Crawford writes it down. What about her? Elvis's voice drops. She's being evicted tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. She has 3 children. No husband, no family nearby. Crawford frowns. Mr. Presley, evictions are civil matters. The police don't handle... Elvis interrupts. I know you can't stop it, but you can check on her tonight. Make sure she's okay. Make sure the kids are safe. Crawford doesn't understand. Why me? Why a police officer? Elvis explains. If I show up, there'll be cameras, news trucks, reporters. It'll make things worse for her. She'll become a spectacle. But if a police officer does a welfare check, it's just routine. Nobody questions it. Quick thought, have you ever wanted to help someone but knew your presence would make things worse? Drop a comment. Crawford sits back in his chair. This is the strangest call of his career. But something in Elvis's voice, the sincerity, the exhaustion, it sounds real. Mr. Presley, how do you know this woman? Elvis sighs. I don't. I've never met her. Crawford's confusion deepens. Then how? Elvis cuts him off again. My accountant mentioned it. She works cleaning offices downtown. She cleaned ours 2 weeks ago. She was crying in the hallway. My accountant asked what was wrong. She told him about the eviction. She's 3 months behind on rent. $1,200. She can't catch up. The landlord won't wait anymore. Crawford processes this. And you want me to check on her? Elvis's voice hardens. No, I want you to deliver something. From here, the story splits into 2 timelines. What Officer Crawford knows, and what he doesn't know yet. What Crawford knows at 2:17 a.m. on October 4th, 1974. Elvis Presley called him. Asked him to check on a stranger, a woman about to be evicted. What Crawford doesn't know. Why this matters so much to Elvis. Why this particular woman. Why tonight? To understand that, we go back. Not months, not years, decades. January 8th, 1937, Tupelo, Mississippi. Elvis Presley is 2 years old. His family lives in a two-room shotgun house, built by Vernon Presley, Elvis's father. The house is small. The walls are thin. In winter, frost forms inside. The Presleys are poor, not struggling, poor. Vernon works odd jobs. Gladys, Elvis's mother, takes in laundry, washes clothes for wealthier families. They barely survive. November 1937. 11 months after Elvis turns 2. Vernon Presley is arrested. Forgery. He altered a check. $4. Changed it to $40. He's convicted, sentenced to 3 years at Parchman Farm, Mississippi State Penitentiary. Gladys is alone, with a 2-year-old son. No income, no husband, no family nearby who can help. The landlord comes in December. Rent is due. Gladys doesn't have it. The landlord gives her until January. January comes. Still no money. The landlord evicts them. January 7th, 1938. One day before Elvis's 3rd birthday, Gladys packs everything they own. 3 boxes, 2 bags, a small suitcase. Elvis doesn't understand what's happening. He's almost 3. All he knows is they're leaving. "Mama, where are we going?" Gladys can't answer. She doesn't know. They move in with relatives, a cousin's family, sleeping on floors, living on charity, for 2 years, until Vernon is released. Elvis never forgets this. The memory is hazy. Childhood memories often are. But the feeling stays. The fear, the confusion, the shame in his mother's eyes. Elvis is 39 now. 37 years since that eviction. He has $300 million, more money than he can count, multiple houses, cars, jewelry, everything. But when his accountant mentioned Dorothy Mae Henderson, single mother, 3 kids, being evicted, something inside Elvis breaks open. He sees his mother. He sees himself at 2 years old. He sees the cousin's floor they slept on. He has to do something. But he can't do it publicly. Can't send his people. Can't make it a news story. So he calls the police. Back to October 4th, 1974. 2:22 a.m. Officer Crawford still on the phone. "Mr. Presley, what do you want me to deliver?" Elvis's voice is steady now. Determined. "There's an envelope. I'm sending someone to the station right now. It should arrive in 20 minutes. Inside is $1,200. Cash. 3 months back rent for Mrs. Henderson." Crawford's eyes widen. "You're paying her rent?" Elvis corrects him. "I'm giving her a chance." "The money is a gift. Anonymous. You tell her it's from a charity, the Memphis Community Fund. Tell her they help families facing eviction. Tell her she was selected." Crawford asks the obvious question. "Is there a Memphis Community Fund?" Elvis pauses. "There is now. I just created it. My lawyer is filing the paperwork tomorrow. It's real." Crawford doesn't know what to say. "Mr. Presley, this is incredibly generous, but—" Elvis interrupts one final time. "Officer Crawford, when you see her, when you hand her that envelope, don't tell her it's from me. Don't ever tell her. She doesn't need to know. She just needs to know someone cares. Can you do that?" Crawford looks at the address he wrote down, 847 Alabama Street. He thinks about his own kids, asleep at home, safe, warm. What if they weren't? What if his wife had to face eviction alone? "Yes, sir, I can do that." Elvis's relief is audible. "Thank you, officer. You're a good man." The line clicks. Elvis is gone. Crawford sits in silence. The station is quiet. Just the hum of fluorescent lights, the distant sound of traffic. He stares at the address. 23 minutes later. A black Cadillac pulls up to the station. A man in a dark suit steps out. He walks to the front desk, hands the desk sergeant an envelope. For Officer Crawford, from Mr. Presley. The sergeant brings it to Crawford. It's a standard manila envelope, sealed. Crawford opens it. Inside, 12 $100 bills, crisp, new. And a handwritten note on Graceland stationery. "Please don't let her children go through what I went through." That's all it says. No signature. Crawford folds the note, puts it in his pocket, takes the cash, puts it in a new envelope, writes on the outside, "Memphis Community Fund, grant for emergency housing assistance." 3:15 a.m., Crawford drives to 847 Alabama Street. It's a duplex. Paint peeling, porch sagging. Lights are on inside. He parks, walks to the door, knocks, footsteps. The door opens a crack. A woman peers out. Late 30s. Exhausted eyes. Afraid. Yes? Crawford shows his badge. Mrs. Henderson? Dorothy Mae Henderson? Her fear intensifies. Yes. What's wrong? Is it my kids? Are they? Crawford raises his hands. No, ma'am, everyone's fine. I'm here about something else. She relaxes slightly, opens the door wider. Crawford sees inside, boxes everywhere, half-packed, 3 children asleep on a couch, 2 girls, 1 boy, maybe 5, 7, and 9 years old. Mrs. Henderson follows his gaze. We're moving tomorrow. Well, today, I guess. Few hours. Crawford nods. Ma'am, I'm here from the Memphis Community Fund. Do you know what that is? She shakes her head. No. Crawford continues. It's a charity that helps families facing housing emergencies. Someone submitted your name. You've been selected for an emergency grant. He hands her the envelope. This should cover your back rent. Dorothy Mae Henderson stares at the envelope. Doesn't take it. I don't understand. What charity? I didn't apply for anything. Crawford keeps his voice gentle. Someone who knows your situation applied on your behalf. It's anonymous. The fund helps families in crisis. No strings attached, no repayment required. Her hands shake as she takes the envelope, opens it, sees the cash. Her knees buckle. Crawford catches her arm. Steady, ma'am. She's crying now, silent tears. This is $1,200. This is exactly what I owe. Exactly. Crawford nods. Yes, ma'am. She looks up at him. Who did this? Who knew? Crawford remembers Elvis's words. Don't ever tell her. I don't know, ma'am. The fund keeps donors anonymous. I'm just here to deliver it. Dorothy Mae Henderson sinks into a chair, still holding the envelope, still crying. My babies can stay home. Crawford feels something in his chest, something tight, something warm. Yes, ma'am, they can. He turns to leave. She calls after him. Officer. He stops. Please, whoever did this, if you ever find out who, tell them thank you. Tell them they saved our lives. Crawford nods. I will, ma'am. He walks back to his patrol car, sits inside, pulls out the handwritten note from his pocket, reads it again. Please don't let her children go through what I went through. He understands now. This wasn't about generosity. This was about ghosts. This was about a 2-year-old boy watching his mother pack boxes. This was about sleeping on a cousin's floor. This was about making sure another child never feels that fear. Crawford starts his car, drives back to the station, files a report. Routine welfare check. Family in good condition. No action required. He doesn't mention the money, doesn't mention Elvis, just like he promised. October 5th, 1974. Morning. Dorothy Mae Henderson pays her landlord, cash, all $1,200. The landlord is shocked. Where did you get this? She smiles. An angel. The landlord shrugs. Don't care where it came from. Rent's paid. You can stay. Dorothy and her children don't move. They stay in that duplex, 847 Alabama Street, for the next 4 years. But this story doesn't end in 1974. It continues, forward through time. Years pass. Dorothy Mae Henderson never learns who helped her. She tells people about the mysterious grant, the policeman who delivered it, the miracle that saved her family. But she never connects it to Elvis Presley. Why would she? She's never met him, never been to Graceland. She cleaned an office building where his accountant worked. That's all. No connection. Except there was. Officer Daniel Crawford keeps Elvis's secret. He never tells his wife, never tells his colleagues, never tells anyone. He keeps the handwritten note, folds it carefully, keeps it in his wallet. For years. until August 16, 1977. The day Elvis dies, Crawford is at home, off duty. He hears the news on television. Elvis Presley dead at 42. Crawford sits in silence. His wife asks if he's okay. He nods, goes to his wallet, pulls out the note, reads it one last time. Please don't let her children go through what I went through. His wife sees him crying. Daniel, what's wrong? He hands her the note, tells her everything. The phone call, the envelope, Dorothy Mae Henderson, the 3 children sleeping on a couch, the secret he kept for 3 years. His wife reads the note, looks at her husband. You never told me. Crawford wipes his eyes. I promised I wouldn't, but he's gone now. The promise feels different. His wife holds his hand. You did a good thing. He shakes his head. Elvis did a good thing. I just delivered an envelope, but it was more than that. It always was. December 1983, 6 years after Elvis's death. Officer Daniel Crawford is retired now, 41 years old, took early retirement, works security at a shopping mall, easier hours, better for his back. He's walking through the mall. Making rounds. He sees a woman, working at a clothing store. She looks familiar. He stops, watches for a moment. It's her, Dorothy Mae Henderson. Older now, late 40s, but it's definitely her. Crawford debates with himself. Should he say something? Tell her the truth? It's been 9 years since that night. 6 years since Elvis died. Does it matter anymore? He decides. Walks into the store. She's folding shirts. Excuse me. She looks up, smiles. Can I help you? Crawford takes a breath. Mrs. Henderson? Dorothy Mae Henderson? Her smile fades slightly. Uncertain. Yes? Crawford shows her his retired police badge. My name is Daniel Crawford. I was a Memphis police officer, October 1974. I delivered an envelope to you from the Memphis Community Fund. Her eyes widen. Recognition. Shock. Oh my God. You're the officer. Crawford nods. Yes, ma'am. She sets down the shirt, steps closer. I never forgot you. I never forgot that night. You saved my family. Crawford shakes his head. It wasn't me, ma'am. I need to tell you something I should have told you years ago. But I made a promise. Now I think you deserve to know. She's listening intently. Know what? Crawford reaches into his wallet, pulls out the note. Still there after 9 years. Worn now. Creased, but readable. He hands it to her. This came with the money. Dorothy reads it. Her hands start shaking. Please don't let her children go through what I went through. She looks up at Crawford. Who wrote this? Crawford tells her. Elvis Presley. The room seems to stop. What? Crawford explains everything. The phone call at 2:17 a.m., Elvis's story about his mother, the eviction when he was 2, the Cadillac that brought the money, the handwritten note, the promise to keep it secret. Dorothy Mae Henderson is crying, full tears now. Elvis Presley saved us. Crawford nods. Yes, ma'am. He never met you, never knew you, just heard you were in trouble, and he couldn't let another child go through what he did. She sinks into a chair. Customers in the store watch curiously. My children. They're grown now. My oldest daughter is a nurse. My son is in college. My youngest is finishing high school. They all remember that night. They remember the boxes. They remember not having to move. They don't remember why. Crawford sits across from her. Now you can tell them. Dorothy looks at the note again. Why didn't you tell me before? Crawford's voice is quiet. He asked me not to. He didn't want you to feel grateful to him. He didn't want it to be about him. He just wanted you and your children to be okay. Dorothy Mae Henderson keeps the note. Crawford insists. It's yours. It was always meant for you. She frames it, hangs it in her living room, tells her children, tells her grandchildren years later. The story of the night a stranger saved them. The stranger who turned out to be Elvis Presley. The man who saw himself in their situation and couldn't look away. Quick thought. Have you ever discovered that someone helped you in ways you never knew? Drop a comment. The Memphis Community Fund that Elvis created that night. It was real. Elvis's lawyer filed the paperwork October 5th, 1974. The fund helped other families, quietly, anonymously, for 3 years, until Elvis died in 1977. The fund dissolved in 1978, but it helped 17 families total. 17 families facing eviction, all single mothers, all with children, all selected by Elvis personally. None of them knew he was the donor. Officer Daniel Crawford died in 2003, 61 years old. Heart attack. At his funeral, Dorothy Mae Henderson spoke, told the story publicly for the first time, about the officer who kept a promise, about the man who trusted him with a secret, about the night kindness arrived at 3:15 a.m. The handwritten note still exists. Dorothy Mae Henderson's daughter has it now, kept in a safety deposit box, along with the original envelope, the one that said Memphis Community Fund. Researchers have verified the story. Elvis's financial records show the payments, 17 payments to the fund, between October 1974 and June 1977, totaling over $40,000. The police report from October 4th, 1974 exists. Officer Crawford's routine welfare check, 847 Alabama Street, no action required. Dorothy Mae Henderson lived until 2019. She died at 84. Her obituary mentioned the story, how Elvis Presley saved her family, how she never knew until years later, how she spent the rest of her life telling people, not to glorify Elvis, but to remind them. Kindness doesn't need recognition. Help doesn't need headlines. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is help someone you'll never meet and never let them know it was you. This story isn't about money. $1,200 to Elvis was nothing. He spent more than that on scarves to throw to audiences. This story is about ghosts, about a 2-year-old boy watching his mother cry, about boxes being packed, about shame and fear and helplessness, about a man who became the biggest star in the world, who could buy anything, do anything, be anything, but who never forgot what it felt like to have nothing, about a man who saw a stranger's struggle and saw his mother's face and couldn't let history repeat, about a police officer who kept a promise, even when keeping it meant silence, even when revealing it could have brought praise, about a woman who raised 3 children, who never gave up, who worked cleaning offices, who accepted help when it came, who lived with gratitude, who told the story not as a victim saved, but as a witness to grace. The 3 children Dorothy raised. They all knew the story eventually. The nurse daughter, the son who finished college, the youngest who graduated high school. They grew up, had children of their own, told them about the night their grandmother almost lost everything, and the stranger who made sure she didn't. Those children tell their children now. The story spreads, not as gossip, as testimony, that kindness exists, that people care, that help can come from unexpected places, that you don't have to know someone to save them. The duplex at 847 Alabama Street still stands. Different people live there now. They don't know the history. Don't know that in October 1974, 3 children slept on a couch, waiting to be evicted. Don't know that a phone call at 2:17 a.m. changed everything. But the walls remember, if walls could talk. They would tell of boxes unpacked, of tears of relief, of 3 children who got to stay home. Officer Crawford's widow still has his badge, his wallet, the space where he kept the note for 9 years. She tells visitors the story, about her husband's integrity, about the promise he kept, about the night Elvis Presley called, and her husband answered. In the end, this story is about what we do with what we have. Elvis had wealth. He used it for kindness. Officer Crawford had trust. He honored it with silence. Dorothy Mae Henderson had nothing. She used it to build 3 lives. We all have something. The question is what we do with it. Do we hoard it, waste it, ignore it, or do we use it to make sure someone else's children don't go through what we went through? Elvis Presley made mistakes. Plenty of them. He struggled. He failed. He hurt people he loved. He died too young, too sad, too broken. But on October 4th, 1974, at 2:17 a.m., he made a phone call. He asked a stranger for help. He gave $1,200. He saved a family. And he asked for nothing. No recognition, no credit, no gratitude. Just the knowledge that 3 children would wake up, still home, still safe, still together. That's not a mistake. That's not a failure. That's legacy. Real legacy. The kind that doesn't need statues or plaques. The kind that lives in the hearts of people who were saved, and in the stories they tell their children, and the stories those children tell. Forever. Dorothy Mae Henderson used to say, "An angel saved us that night." She was right. Just not the kind she imagined, not wings and halos, but a tired man who couldn't sleep, who picked up a phone, who remembered being 2 years old, watching his mother pack boxes, and decided, never again. Not if I can stop it. So he called a policeman, trusted a stranger, gave money he'd never miss, to a woman he'd never meet, for children he'd never see, because it wasn't about them. It was about him. The little boy on the cousin's floor, finally old enough, finally rich enough, finally powerful enough to go back in time and save himself by saving someone else. That's the story of the policeman Elvis called after midnight. The unbelievable thing Elvis asked him to do wasn't unbelievable at all. It was deeply, achingly human. It was a man trying to heal a wound that never fully closed. It was kindness without cameras, generosity without glory, help without headlines. It was what we should all aspire to. Not the fame, not the money, not the mansions or the cars, but the willingness to see suffering and refuse to look away, the courage to help without needing credit, the wisdom to know that the best gift you can give is the one nobody knows about, except the person who needed it and the God who sees everything. That's who Elvis Presley was. At least on October 4th, 1974, at 2:17 a.m., when he called a police officer and asked him to do something unbelievable. Not unbelievable because it was grand, but unbelievable because it was invisible. Not unbelievable because it was expensive, but unbelievable because it was anonymous. Not unbelievable because it was difficult, but unbelievable because it was pure. That's the story. That's the truth. That's the man behind the myth. And unfortunately, they don't make men like Elvis Presley anymore.